Welcome to Great American Health.
So, Stefan, what do we got here? What's all this stuff? Tell me.
Well, I wanted to show people what foods are available now with omega-3. I think we're starting to realize that we need to be taking omega-3 on a regular basis.
Absolutely.
And it's great. People are educated. And as a result, companies are starting to put omega-3s in many different foods. I mean, you have cookies, even eggs now, even peanut butter, which is really an interesting twist, is that they're putting omega-3 now in butter.
Are these good?
If they were putting fish-derived omega-3, it would be good.
And also,
the only
how
question would be
how much do they get to put in that? Because that's the other issue. You know, to get a meaningful dose of this stuff. To just say it contains omega-3, it might have like, you know, what, 1/8 of a gram, and it's not going to be enough to make any difference. When you need
at least 1.2 grams to really do something for you that's going to be beneficial. But what a lot of these companies are starting to do, Johnny, is they put the flaxseed in there because it really doesn't have that bad fishy taste. And so that is, quote unquote, a source of omega-3. And I'm really excited that we're talking about this because a lot of people out there are saying, you know, I'm taking flaxseed oil, and they're thinking, oh, I'm getting omega-3 on a daily basis. And it's very unfortunate because what they're getting is the type of omega-3 that don't necessarily give you the benefits that we know as omega-3. There are basically three sources of omega-3. You have EPA and DHA that give you the beneficial effects, such as promoting better brain function, such as joint health, cardiovascular health, even better looking skin. But it's the ALA, that omega-3 form of flaxseed, that the body needs to convert into EPA and DHA to give you beneficial effects. And the problem with flaxseed is as we get older, our ability to do that becomes inhibited.
But I think what you're saying is that we really need a reliable source of these fatty acids that are found preformed in fish.
Right.
Because we can't rely on our body always making the amount that we would need just from flaxseed oil.
Exactly. So we need to make sure that if we're taking an omega-3 supplement, the best source you're going to get is from fish source. And let's look at some fish here. There's a challenge here. There's somewhat of a misconception, and that is there are two types of salmon. It gets even more complex
I wrote about this in my food book. Wild salmon and
farm-raised.
Exactly. Big difference.
Big difference because fish get their omega-3 from the algae or the krill that they consume.
Little krill, by the way, are little crustaceans. They look like shrimp, and it's a natural diet of salmon. They love it.
Full of omega-3. Well, the farm-raised salmon,
whole different story.
It's different. We're not feeding them the omega-3.
No, we're feeding them grain.
Pellets.
Yep, pellets of grain, and they get sick. They live in pens. They need antibiotics. They're subject to a lot of things that wild salmon are not subjected to.
The other thing is there's this misconception fish has to come from some region of the planet in order to be good. Fish don't have passports.
Right.
Omega-3 is omega-3
Absolutely.
is omega-3.
Correct.
Okay. And so the other sources that we can get omega-3 from are your sardines. Now we had these covered because
they stink a little bit. They have a little bit of an odor.
They have a little bit of an odor, but just to give you an idea.
But many people won't eat them.
Many people won't eat them.
They're just not going to eat them.
Yeah, many people won't eat them.
I've told people about sardines for years, and I hear a lot of people say a lot of people like them. I like them. A lot of people say, sardines? No way. So, you know, we can't really count on most people getting the amount of omega-3s that they need for real health and prevention just from fish. Just not doing it.
Instead of taking fish on a daily basis, what people
nothing wrong with that, but most people aren't doing it.
It's great, but who's going to do it? You know, I mean, try with kids or even adults getting on a daily basis. It's not necessarily practical for some people, whether it be taste or, you know, price, if they're going to get wild salmon on a daily basis. So what do? We supplement. And there's nothing wrong with it. Supplementation is great because what we do is we extract the omega-3s from the fish and we put it in a supplement, and we actually filter it as well. And that's one of the other dynamics about having fish is that you have toxins that are in our ocean.
And in the farm-raised.
And in the farm-raised.
One of the largest sources of PCBs. It's been documented by the Environmental Working Group. Very high source of PCBs in the diet. They've been banned years ago, but they're still in the environment, and they do wind up in farm-raised fish.
And then, of course, we have heavy metals or mercury
and you want to purify them.
And you want to purify it. Here, with your supplements, you get purification.
Right.
So that's great. We're actually refining.
We're moving up the scale.
We're moving up the ladder, okay, to the higher echelon. Now, walking down a supermarket, who would ever think that there are different types of fish oil that I could be having? Isn't fish oil fish oil? Not necessarily. And let me show you here. I have an example.
You happen to have some Christmas balls here.
I happen to have some Christmas.
Just happen to have them here on the
We're going to have Christmas early this year.
Okay, good.
This is the molecular structure of the type of omega-3 complex, which is a triglyceride that's found in your supplements. Generally, that's one of the 3 types that you can get. This is what it looks like. You have a glyceride, and it's a tri. You have these fatty acids around it. Could be omega-3, could be some other fats around it. What we do when we consume fish or we consume these supplements is we cut away, we separate, we cleave, we isolate the omega-3 so that we can absorb it through our system. This is part of the digestive process. That's great. The only question is, how effective is your digestive system cleaving, isolating, and breaking down the triglyceride? That is the question, and unfortunately, as we get older, our digestive system tends to become inhibited, and as a result of that, our ability to break down the triglyceride becomes inhibited as well. And so, are we absorbing 100%? Not necessarily. So this is the first source, the triglyceride. Our body cleaves it, and as we talked about, it promotes heart health, brain health, joint health, youthful looking skin. These are some of the benefits that we see that omega-3 helps to promote. Okay, if you're going to do that, why not get it with the best source you possibly can get, with the isolated, free form of omega-3, knowing that you're getting it in your body, in your bloodstream, without anything inhibiting the absorption.
Makes sense to me.